Come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Come ye to Bethlehem.
Hi guys, my name is Kiva and this is DIY with KB. Today we're doing a video that I'm so excited for. I wanted to do it in August, but babe said it was premature. We are doing modern Christmas decor. I'm gonna give you a tour of my Christmas decor and I'm so excited to share that with you because this year we're not doing rainbows, we're not doing any of that. We're doing black, white, and green, modern, chic, something that you're gonna wanna keep up for a few months. I'm so excited to share that with you. Before we get into today's video, please remember to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and check me out on Instagram at kiva.brent. Now let's get into today's video. I love the holidays, but I actually have never decorated for Christmas before because I've been so nervous to throw off my home. I spend so much time, arranging my console tables, making my home look beautiful, and when it comes to the holidays, I'm always afraid that my decor is going to detract from what I did. So I wanted to come up with a way to integrate my decor into the way my house already looks in a way that makes me comfortable and keeps my home looking beautiful. I hope today I'm able to give you some tips that you can apply in your own space so that you can have a chic, luxurious looking home for the holidays. When we decided to do a Christmas tree, I wanted to do something that was flocked, which means it has snow all over it. I wanted to go with something that was all white because my home has a lot of black and white in it. So I just played into my existing color scheme because that's gonna be the main tip today. And so this tree was actually only $200 from Big Lots. It's 9 feet tall, flocked, and it looks like some of those $1,000 trees that you see online. And I was so happy to find it. They're not sold out yet. So if you're still looking for an artificial Christmas tree, Big Lots is the place to go. But once we got this tree, I'm gonna be honest, I could have left it as is because it was already pre-lit. Doing absolutely nothing to your tree also looks really high end. But if you wanna make it look high end with decor, what I did is I went all white. So the tree is not only all white, but my ornaments are also all white. So I went to At Home and I picked up a ton of ornaments. So step one is, since I decided that the tree was going to be all white, the only way to add dimension was to get ornaments of different sizes. So I got huge ornaments like this one. These are a huge sphere, and then I got smaller white ones like this one, which is just a nice size of a snowball. So that was step one. Getting different shapes really adds some dimension and makes it more exciting to look at. Step two was to add some interesting shapes that were also white. So I went with these spiky looking ones, or star little shapes. They are white and they only have a little bit of glitter. I also wanted to tone down the glitter because the glitter can look a little too glam for me sometimes, even in the Christmas period. So that was something that I did. And then to add a final shape, I added some icicles. So these icicles, again, are white, not too much glitter, and they're just nice and long and droopy. So again, same color everywhere, just different shapes and different sizes. We also added these icicles from the Dollar Tree because how could you not get $1, ornaments from the Dollar Tree. Finally, I wanted to add some ribbon to the tree. I love when people make their trees look like a wrapped present. That is everything to me, and I wanted to do it in a way that was really organized. Babe and I joke about this all the time. So last year we had 2 trees and I measured where every single ornament went. It wasn't fun, and then if something fell, I was just super frustrated. So I wanted to do something that had some structure to keep me at peace, but also was a little bit more fun. So all the ornaments are randomly interspersed, but the ribbon is really intentionally placed. So there's a set distance between everyone. It makes it look like a nice big wrapped present and adds, again, a nice little pop of white to contrast the green of the tree. And we actually didn't do a topper. We might do one eventually, but we couldn't find one that I think really leaned into the modern vibe. I think it detracts from it. So we're still on the hunt for that, but I'm totally okay with it. It actually looks fine with that one in my opinion. Obviously, black is one of my favorite colors, if you can even call it that. And I wanted to add a pop of black near the Christmas tree. So I got black matte wrapping paper. And when I tell you that when I went to the store to get this, the lady had to pull out every single roll and get on the floor. I felt so bad. I was like, do you want me to do it? But black matte wrapping paper and I just put it over Amazon boxes that I was going to recycle anyway. I really love to decorate in a sustainable way. I keep everything and repurpose it. I repurpose trash in my art all the time, but that's what I wanted to do here. So all of your boxes, wrap those if you don't have kids. That's a great way to do something like that. And faux fur is in this year. It's super in this year. So I went with a faux fur Christmas tree skirt. And since we don't have too many presents, the way that I bolstered the skirt is I actually just threw trash underneath of it to add like some height to it. So it looked like there was more going on under there than there is. Hopefully I'm gonna add a train soon because that's like my dream, but for now, this is what we've got. Before I show you more of my modern Christmas decor, I wanna thank Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Skillshare is an online learning community for curious and creative people like yourselves. I know you're curious and creative because that's why you're here at DIY with KB. I love Skillshare because you can learn anything on the platform. As an entirely self-taught interior designer and DIYer, engaging in communities like Skillshare has helped me bolster my skill set. Whether you're a beginner or an intermediate, there is something for you. They have classes in interior design, graphic design, crafting, which is one of my favorites, and videography. Just recently, I took an iPhone photography class with Dale McManus, and it really changed the game for me because I'm gonna be completely honest, it was taking me hours to edit my iPhone photos, and I wasn't always happy with them. But he taught me how to use presets, so I no longer have to spend hours editing and like just being frustrated. I can use presets to edit my photos, and now it no longer takes hours, it takes about 5 minutes. So I can redirect that time that I was spending editing to create content for you guys, and I love that. Skillshare is so great because almost all the classes are under an hour and there are no ads. There's no frills. It's all about learning and leaning into your passions and just being creative. Also, on DIY with KB, you know we like to do everything affordably, and that's what I love about Skillshare because if you go with the annual subscription, it's under $10 a month. $10 a month, you guys. That is fantastic. And the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description box are going to get a free premium trial subscription to Skillshare. Now we're going to talk about the dining table. So what I want to say is that because if you're anything like me, that means you like to put up your holiday decor really early. Again, I want to put up in August, but it is November now. So it's probably going to be up from November to like early to mid-January. That means that whatever I put up, I have to like for that period of time. So I wanted to choose things that were nice and muted so that they wouldn't bother me. So what I did is I picked up these Marin plates from Crate & Barrel. I showed them to you guys a few weeks ago and you're like, it's too black. There was a reason for that. It blends in with the table, but when I add the pop of white from the napkin and green from the centerpiece and this little thing here, it really pops against my nice white chairs and my overall black and white home. So we did a really simple table setting. We have the salad plate, the dinner plate. We have a nice little sprig of greenery. When we actually have people come over, I'm gonna swap out my faux greenery for real greenery. So that is also a good tip. You want long-lasting holiday decor? I have faux greenery here, but the second somebody comes over, I'm going to get like a sprig of rosemary or a fresh sprig of pine and put it there and really bring some earthiness to the table. So this is the table setting, and what I wanted to do for the chairs that were in the middle, so this chair and the ones that oppose them, is to have a runner that connects both sides. I don't like runners that go all the way the width of the table because I feel like it makes the table look a little bit too narrow to me. So I wanted two things that would dress the table, make it a little bit more fancy, but still keep most of the table exposed because I just got this table and why would I cover it up all the way, you know? So it's a different shade of black compared to the black here, so it adds some dimension. Again, using different shades of your prime colors is also a good tip. I also paired it with shiny black cutlery. So again, still black, but instead of it being black matte, we have shiny black. And we kept the centerpiece pretty simple. I just got 2 pieces of garland from Michael's and I looped them around and I added these candlesticks and these little black trees from Target. They're only $3. They're pretty much black cones. You can make them yourself. But again, adding more black in Christmas shapes. Do you know what I mean? We're not adding, you know, a nice rainbow tree to the centerpiece. That's just not what I want to do. I like to look at them in the store. And then I added some pine cones to add a little bit of earthiness. The thing did have pine cones on it, but I added like these white ones and these big brown ones. Again, adding some earthiness, adding natural colors instead of artificial colors really helps. I don't know why I said artificial colors. Obviously all the colors exist in the world, but really earthy colors is what I did. And then I added some candles. I have these really tall candlesticks. I don't know if those are gonna stay. I think I want candlesticks that are all the same height. And then I just got these 2 pillar candles from Joann, super affordable. They also sell them at the Dollar Tree, and I just put them in the center. I'll light them when we have guests over, and that'll be it. I wanted to add some lighting to the table because at like Christmas dinner, what I like to do is I like to turn all the lights off and then just have my candles, my tree, and like my other lights from the holiday in the space. I want it to look nice and moody and like almost romantic. I don't know what's wrong with me, but that's what I like. So adding some light to the table is the perfect way to do that. Now I'm so excited to show you this DIY that Babe and I did, and honestly, it's my favorite one to date. We have been wanting a chandelier forever, you guys know this, and Babe was like, we need one for Christmas. So we live in a condo, so we can't have a wreath on our front door, and we were mad about it. But we were like, okay, how can we bring one into the home in a really cool way? So we made a wreath chandelier. Guys, this was so fun. Did Babe have to get 16 feet high on a ladder to put in that hook? Yes, she did, and I am so grateful. But what we did is we got a standard 36-inch wreath. They are selling these at Walmart right now, guys, for $14, I think. It's something around there, or $26, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's cheap. It's cheap, 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 cheap. So we got a standard little wreath, and then I added an extra level of garland to it, and what I did is I made the wreath on top of my ladder. So I set it on top of the ladder so I can walk all the way around it and make sure that all of my sprigs of things are evenly interspersed. So I put in sprigs of eucalyptus and things like this, and I put them all around the wreath to make it look really earthy. So this is another tip. So wreaths normally have tons of ornaments and tons of color, and they're so beautiful, but if you want one that's a little bit more toned back but still Christmassy, you don't want to leave it bare. You don't want to leave it bare pine, so put more types of greenery in it. So that's what we did, and I styled everything in the cart. Like I always said, we went to Michael's and everything was in the same place. If it didn't look nice together, it wasn't coming home. I just wanted different tones of green and then a few pine cones, and having things hang a little bit made it a little bit more romantic, a little bit more elegant. And what you could do if you did want to add ornaments, you could add white icicles around or something that's in an icicle shape to make it kind of like hang down and look more like a chandelier. That would be my tip for you. But I love the way this turned out, and actually it has battery powered lights in it. So if I do want to turn it on and have it actually act like a lit chandelier, that is something that I can do. And if you guys want to know how we actually made this, what we did is we actually tied ribbon across, and then we put in a carabiner and connected the carabiner to a chain, to a black chain that we got from the hardware store for about $10. It is 11 feet of chain. And what we did is we just suspended it that way. We just had to get on the ladder to put it up. And you want to do the 4 pieces of ribbon so that it can balance evenly, or else it's going to be like, you know, just a nice ride at Six Flags, which we don't want for our dining table. And when we hung it, we made sure to have someone sitting here to make sure that if they stood up, they wouldn't hit their head, but you also don't want it too high so that it looks out of place and it obstructs the sightline through the living room. The mirror has always and will always be the star of the show in our home, and I wanted to dress it up a little bit. So all I did is I got some garland that had a little bit of white in it, and I put it around the mirror. I put nails actually in the wall, and each piece of garland has like a hook on top where you can suspend it. So I just put them on the hooks, and then I pushed it over the mirror so it looks like it's properly draping the mirror. And again, add the pop of green to this side of the room. This side of the room is really organized. It has a really rigid structure, so this doesn't interfere with that, which I really like. As for the coffee table, I didn't change much. I put a little bit of flocked pine in here. I haven't taken the tags off yet because I'm not sure if I want to keep this. I actually just got some real sprigs from Trader Joe's last night, so that's probably what I'm going to use, and have them coming out of the vessel. Again, everything's staying the same. I still have these branches and these pots that I love. I'm just adding a little bit of greenery. I did something similar over here. I had an extra piece of garland, and I said, well, David looks cold. So I gave him this piece of garland, and I just wrapped it around. Again, adds a little pop of green, but the design is exactly the same. Again, it's all about minor changes. So here on my console, I normally have those green chestnut branches and this little box that sits right here. So what I did, I got rid of that pop of green because now I want all of the green in my home to be a deep green for the holidays. or something earthy. So I got these actually cinnamon scented branches from Dollar General. I'm gonna cut them apart, but I'm replacing my chestnut with these. So again, playing into my color scheme. And then instead of my marble box, I added a cloche with some houses and a green tree. A little pop of Christmas without changing my design. Everything is still in the same place. I just swapped some things out. And on the island, we just added a nice platter with pine cones, some greenery, and then a nice pillar candle. We'll have it lit when people are over, but otherwise it'll be out. And it's just like a nice, cute little piece. It doesn't take up too much space on the island, and it just replaced a different pot that I had there at a different point in time. And I had to add something a little cheesy. We were all kids at heart, so my grandmother always used to take garland and drape it over the top of the cabinet so it's not interfering with our everyday life. What I was going to do is put garland on the windowsills, but it was just too busy, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to look at that forever. So I have garland up top with 3 candles that do turn on. I will turn those candles on when we have a dinner, but the garland is nice and out of the way, and I just have it plugged in down here so that when I don't want to look at it, I unplug it and you're none the wiser. That's not somewhere anyone really looks ever. If you liked today's video, please remember to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and check me out on Instagram at kiva.brent. Also, the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description box will get a free trial premium subscription to Skillshare. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and until next time, have a beautiful day.